From VTV Channel 6 Studios in downtown Vernal, this is Local Point with your host, Chris Piner.
Welcome to Local Point, brought to you by Strata Networks. I'm Dale Allred in for Chris Piner this week. On this episode, we welcome Commissioner Gregory Todd and Commissioner Ken Burdick from Duchesne County. They're here to discuss plans and their vision for the county in 2015. Gentlemen, welcome. We're so glad to have you with us today.
Thank you.
We're excited. Excellent. So, newly elected to office for the both of you in Duchesne County. And we're talking about Duchesne County with a three-seat commission, correct? Mm-hmm. So we have Commissioner Ron Winterton, correct, who is in office, and the two of you joined him recently, sworn in on January 5th of this year. Is that right?
Correct.
So,
correct.
What an exciting time. Thanks for the both of you coming and sharing with us your plans and vision for the coming year and really the future of Duchesne County. So it's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Let's first get to know both of you a little bit more, your background, what you feel has prepared you for this position, what expertise and strengths you have coming into a seat or the commissioner position, and just really get more familiar, and then we're going to talk more about vision and goals. So let's do that. So Commissioner Burdick, if you would please share with us background and information. What made you the right man for this job?
Well, we had a paving company in Roosevelt, Burdick Paving, for about 35 years. And in 1974, we went out and tore down an old hot plant and brought it back to Roosevelt and starved for a lot of years, but we got going. And as you look at roads and things, you know, there's been a number of times through the years that I thought, you know, I'd like to try and be a county commissioner and help the county a little bit, mostly with the roads and things, but there are a lot of other things that, you know, you get involved in that you don't know until you finally get there and you start into some of these meetings, and there are a lot of things that I don't know if anything can really prepare you for unless you've been into politics. But we had that family business for that many years, and so hopefully that will give me enough background to continue on and help the county a little bit with some of their roads and their projects.
Very good. So. Very good. Thank you. Commissioner Todd, I guess the same question. Tell us about yourself and your background.
Well, I grew up in Bluebell, went to Alamo High School, graduated in education. I needed a job to get me through college, and I worked in the oil field. And 40 years later, I guess I'm out of the oil field. But it was a great experience, and that's one thing that I feel I have a good perspective of is you know, I watched the oil field start basically in the 70s and have developed relationships with people and understand how important it is to our economy, and I feel I can participate on both sides of the aisle with that. And having the opportunity to serve was really my main motivation. Right time, right place in my life, and I felt it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass by. So.
Very, very good. Well, I think certainly speaking for myself, but hopefully for our communities at large, we appreciate those who are willing to step up and at times make a sacrifice, but either way bring to our local government, you know, the expertise, the experience, and just the willingness to serve, to make it a better place. And so we respect you and thank you for your service. When I think of Duchesne County, I think of industry. I think of energy particularly and all of those things that you have. I think of recreation. There's just so many great opportunities when we think about really the land within Duchesne County. A lot of diversity there, a lot of opportunity. And so when we think of that opportunity, well, let's talk about what individually the visions that you have going forward and what you hope to accomplish this year, just in general terms, and in the future. Commissioner Burdick, please.
Well, I think economically right now we're looking at a downturn with this oil going like it is, and that worries us a little bit, and so we just want to kind of watch and keep things on track the best that we can and help where we can help. You know, there's a lot of farmers and ranchers that it might not directly affect, but it indirectly affects, and so if we can help them, you know, in some ways. There's a little bit of timber industry still, you know. How do we go ahead and help them? What about the oil field? How do we help them? They've been huge contributors to our county.
Certainly.
And, you know, just employment, but just in donations that they give. You know, I don't think people realize how much they give. And when this goes down, how do we make up that shortfall? And so we have discussions about that. We haven't had a lot of them yet. We haven't had time to have a lot of discussions about some things. But, you know, those are things that we like to see. You know, we like to see our citizens continue on and be able to have a life that they want. One thing that I've always noticed when these oil booms go bust, at least you've got more people there in the maintenance side of the oil field. And so that helps our economy there, even though it does slow down quite a bit. And so looking forward, you know, there are a lot of roads that need some help, but how do you do that when you don't have the help of the oil field? Yeah. And so that's kind of what we're looking at.
Good point. Okay.
We just kind of want to stay on track with that. And
absolutely. Critical, the lifeblood of the communities, for sure. In the last minute or so, Commissioner Todd, share what your thoughts are on that subject.
Well, I grew up on a farm, and there's a lot of farming communities here. They work hard, and we need to look out for them also. The oil field is important, but water and those that own the land, that's important for them too. And I've always said this is the community of Duchesne County. And that's one thing that we are trying to do, is to make it feel more whole as Duchesne County, instead of individualized little areas. So.
Okay. Very well said. Well, gentlemen, we'll be taking a short break and be right back to hear a lot more of exciting things coming up in Duchesne County for this year. Be right back after this message from our sponsor, Strata Networks.
With advanced all-digital cable television from Strata Networks, you can enjoy jaw-dropping digital picture on hundreds of channels, exclusive local programming with VTV6, and follow your favorite college teams in incredible HD on the Pac-12 network, all with no contracts, no costly equipment, and no dishes mounted to your home. For details, visit your Strata store in Roosevelt or Vernal, or call 622-5007. Strata Networks. We connect lives.
Welcome back to Local Point. Commissioner Todd and Commissioner Burdick are here discussing their plans for Duchesne County in 2015. And welcome back again for the second segment. And again, a pleasure having you here in the VTV studio today. So we've talked about your background, your vision, your ideas for Duchesne County. There's a lot of opportunity. You mentioned to me off camera, it's sort of like, you know, an opportunity for a new start, some new opportunities, a lot of new elected officials in county government right now. So a lot of change, but a lot of excitement, really. And maybe we hinted earlier, but the centennial for Duchesne County this year, that's a pretty big thing. Let's talk about that. There are some big plans underway. Been a lot of efforts we might mention, and particularly by former Commissioner Kent Petrus, and a lot of work he's been doing for years, it sounds like, almost, building up to this. But let's talk about that, and whoever would like to take that and lead off, let's talk about the centennial and what it means.
Well, the centennial, to both of us, is very important because our families have been in Duchesne County for many years. I think, didn't you mention 100 years for your family?
Wow.
And ours came about the time that they started to homestead Duchesne County and down in there. But the centennial will involve all of the communities. The county has given them some centennial grant money to do projects with. And, you know, there was a lot of excitement. We had a county government thing the other night, a meeting with them, and there was a lot of excitement generated for the centennial. And it will have the grand finale at the fair time, and there will be little events throughout the summer that will kind of bring up to that. They're in the process of collecting the history of Duchesne County, along with pictures that they can put together and have them up on a video presentation on the big screen TV or whatever they call it at the fair. So that will be pretty awesome to see that.
Each of the communities are excited about it because they have their own project, their own centennial project. They'll have the opportunity to either have a ribbon cutting that they finished, or a opportunity to begin a project. Meeting with the different mayors and leaders from the different communities, they were very appreciative of the opportunity to feel a part of this. We're excited to help them understand the centennial in some other respects. 100 years ago, what did our county look like? You know, do we need to improve ourselves in cleanliness and picking up and making things better? And that's going to be another project that we're going to push and allow people to show more pride in their community.
Speaking of the centennial year, I understand there's just recently a groundbreaking on something that's really kind of exciting for Duchesne County, Centennial Building. What can you tell me about this? Sounds like something pretty cool.
It, like we've said, it was kind of a vision of Commissioner Petrus, and he's worked really hard for this. It will be much like the Western Park is down here, only smaller, and it will be a place where we can have meeting rooms and have some small conventions, and then have an indoor arena to host events also in there. And it's kind of exciting to see that, and we hope to have it done by August time. That's the plan by the time the county fair starts, but with things that happen, sometimes that doesn't come through, but we're pushing really hard for that.
We're excited that it can be part of the county fair. It will help the county fair be a bigger county fair and an opportunity to really make room for more people and more events.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, you think of the fairgrounds there and all that has been offered, but you have a venue like that now it just opens up all kinds of new opportunities really there for the fair, and what a great long-term asset to have in a community where people can come together for events. So that's exciting.
I just might mention one other thing. They're moving the Bridgeland Bridge to the to span the Strawberry River in the county fair area as a recognition of that Bridgeland Bridge. It's an old bridge that needed some work done, and so they felt that was the place to be.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. So some new things to see this year at the Duchesne County Fair is sort of a culmination of the centennial, the great celebration that is coming to Duchesne County this year. That's pretty exciting. Well, in the last minute or so, let's talk about Duchesne County as a whole. You mentioned that it's like the community of Duchesne County. And what a wonderful way to think of it. It's made up of diverse people and industry, opportunities, recreation, everything from Kings Peak and the high Uintas to the deserts. We've talked about energy industry, all of these places and people and things that make it up. Your vision is, though, that it is a community. And share with us kind of some of your closing thoughts about what that means and how you as a county support those communities within that area.
Go ahead.
Well, we're really excited to be able to participate. As I said before, I grew up in the small community. I want to have the opportunity to have my children have this opportunity to work in our county also. Being able to come together and feel of the aspect of coming together and making Duchesne County a better community.
Yeah. Well said. Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being here today and sharing the vision and the excitement that you have going forward. It's really something that gets me excited as I think about all the opportunities that exist right here in the basin, and particularly within Duchesne County. Gentlemen, thank you. Thanks again for joining us. Best of luck on this year in the Centennial. And thank you for watching today's episode. That's all for now. Please join us next time right here on VTV Channel 6. And remember to like us on Facebook for updates on your favorite VTV programming.